Good evening, Dr. Ramraini and my fellow coursemates. My name is Arlena, and tonight I'll be sharing a story about one of the most successful entrepreneur. She's an Indian billionaire entrepreneur, and her name is Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw. First, let's look at the background of Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw. She was born on the 20th of March 1953, and she's now 68 years old. She's from Bangalore, India. She is the chairperson and managing director of Biocon Limited. She went to Bangalore University and she took bachelor's degree in zoology. She also attended Ballarat College in Melbourne and learned about malting and brewing. She's married to John Shaw, who is also the vice chairman of Biocon. And according to Forbes 2021, her net worth is 3.5 billion USD. And of course, being successful has gained her several titles, honors, and awards such as Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential in the World, also the Ernst & Young World Entrepreneur of the Year 2020, as well as Forbes list of world's self-made women billionaire. A little bit about Biocon Limited. Biocon was founded in 1978 through a joint venture between Kiran and the Irish entrepreneur, where Biocon manufactured and exported an enzyme called papain. The papain is extracted from the papayas, which is a key product for the brewing industry and exported to Europe and USA. Then Biocon has evolved into biopharmaceutical company that help treats cancer, diabetes, and autoimmune disease. And Biocon has four global businesses, includes generics, biosimilars, research services, and novel biologics. The second section is the entrepreneurial mindset. So one of the entrepreneurial mindset of Kiran is determination and perseverance. And when she started her company, she has faced these numbers of difficulties, but she stayed focused on building her company despite many challenges from the beginning. And she has this passion mindset. She has always been passionate since her childhood days, although her dreams to become a doctor was not fulfilled, but she has always loved science due to her surrounding, which is very much exposed to science, and that has also led to her ambition to create a business that would leverage science for the benefit of the society. Then the calculated risk-taking mindset, the fact that she pioneered the biotech sector in India, which show that she was willing to take big risks which nobody has attempted in before. Then the tolerance for ambiguity, even with a business background and uncertainty, she was confident with her decision to actually start a company. Then next, the entrepreneurial motivation. The first one is the personal characteristic. Kiran's strategy has always been about doing things differently. So she would look at what everyone was doing, and then she would do her things completely different, so that she would be able to stand out and create greater value for her business. Then the personal environment motivation. One of the motivation for Kiran's success is her family. Her father has been encouraging her to do things that she wanted, and he also wanted her to do the same thing as what he would want his other sons to do. Then the personal goal motivation, which is the so-called foolish courage that she has, which is she said herself that this courage which has led her to success. And then the business environment, the opportunity from another business. One of the opportunity is when Kiran met the Irish entrepreneur who has given her the opportunity to start the Biocon in India, and also the business idea motivation. Kiran is open and she likes to attract a lot of viewpoints. So definitely without an idea, there'll be no business. And then the fourth section of my presentation tonight is the key takeaway and insight points. What does it take to be an entrepreneur? So let's us look at this
It also made me
clip from
realize
Kiran.
that anyone can become an entrepreneur. I really don't believe that you have to belong to a certain kind of business background or that you have to have a certain orientation or training to become an entrepreneur. I really believe that anyone who has the ability to take on a challenge and to take on risk can actually become an entrepreneur. But I think the most important part of entrepreneurship is to really make sure that you have a very deep sense of purpose and passion in that business that you're going to start. And so when I started my business really accidentally, I think I went about it with a lot of commitment, passion, and involvement because I was determined to make it succeed. I think all entrepreneurs want their businesses to succeed. So I think that passion and commitment actually gets you to focus on that success. And I think that's what made me realize that this is what entrepreneurship is about. That
One of the key takeaway and insight that I learned from Kiran is to do things differently. From papayas to pharmaceutical, this is a story about how she became an entrepreneur and which all of us can learn from. Kiran has always has this interest in medical science, so when she did not make it in her medical entrance test, she decided to pursue zoology, and she was hoping that she could go back to the medical in another time. So, but then her father told her to learn about brewing. Her father himself is a brewmaster, so he kind of wanted one of his children to become a brewmaster. And from there, Kiran left for home. She attended Ballarat College in Australia and learned about brewing. And after completing her program, she returned back to India and she managed to secure a job in brewing industry. She wanted to become a brewmaster, but however, she was not accepted for brewmaster position in India because it is seen as a gender-based position and only male can do it. So she left home and she went to UK to become a brewmaster. But then again, when she was in UK, she met this entrepreneur, an Irish entrepreneur who was planning to start a biocon operation in India. So he wanted Kiran to do it. So Kiran returned back to India and she invested all her savings to start Biocon and Biocon at the garage of her rented house. And she and few of her employees starting has been doing all this extracting of the enzymes from the papaya for export to the country like US and Europe. And that is why she would call herself an accidental entrepreneur because from the disappointment of becoming a doctor, she ended up with becoming an entrepreneur. Yeah, and then in the mid 90s, Kiran realized that enzyme is a small limited opportunity. So she decided to leverage all the technologies that she has developed for enzymes, and from there Biocon has evolved to become an innovation-led biopharmaceutical enterprise. And one of the novelty approach is the production of human insulin using yeast system, the Pichia pastoris, which is also derived from the papayas. One of the key takeaway that I learned from Kiran is to never giving up, and she always tell to the young entrepreneur to that failure is temporary and but giving up is permanent. That is her determination and commitment for success. When Kiran started her company at the age of 21, she faced difficulty as a woman with a numbers of credibility hurdles. No bank would want to lend her money because they see her to be high risk in every way. She was seen as inexperienced and the sector that she was going in was not understandable as well. But she believes that if you are committed into something, you can start getting a buy-ins from the believers. So when she successfully created her business, she started to eventually gain the credibilities which she has not had before. Another key takeaway and insight that I learned from Kiran is that when you become successful, you tend to give back to the society. So for Kiran, she believes in compassionate capitalism and committing to give the majority of the wealth to philanthropic causes. That is all from me. Thank you.